right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Can you believe it? It's back to summer clothes as high temperatures approach records. Plus, who has the best chance to see a thunderstorm?
The sky is no longer the limit for this group of local teens.
I've always liked planes, but flying them was a whole nother level.
The training program that's giving them the chance to truly spread their wings. But first, a substitute teacher arrested for sex crimes involving a student. The Melville School District responding to the allegations and why police believe there may be even more victims. Good evening, I'm Brent Solomon. A substitute teacher behind bars tonight accused of sex crimes against a student in St. Louis County. Today, St. Louis County prosecutors charged Brandon Holbrook with rape and sodomy. This week, the Melville School District learned of an inappropriate relationship allegedly between Holbrook and a 14-year-old. St. Louis County investigators learned he was a substitute teacher at Bernard Middle School, where he met the teen. They believe Holbrook groomed the victim through social media, exchanging messages and photos. He's accused of going to the teen's home and engaging in sex acts on at least 3 separate occasions. Investigators say Holbrook threatened the victim so that the teen wouldn't disclose their relationship. Melville Schools saying today, we are deeply troubled by any report alleging that an employee may have engaged in inappropriate behavior. They go on to say the substitute has not worked in Melville Schools since the new school year started. Investigators say Holbrook worked at other area school districts and they believe there may be more victims. If you have any information, contact St. Louis County Police at 314-615-5400. Developing tonight, a death investigation in Caseyville, Illinois. Today, officers showed up to Old Main Street near Illinois 157 because someone was seen lying near the railroad tracks. When officers got there, that person had died. No cause of death has been determined. Foul play is not suspected. The person's identity has not been released. 2 O'Fallon, Missouri families are displaced tonight after a house fire spread to neighboring homes. This happened on Briar Chase Circle just after 4 this afternoon. Families are not able to live in 2 of the homes there, and 2 other houses have minor damage. No one was hurt. Investigators now looking into what caused that fire. Tonight, a vigil in St. Louis for the 16-year-old boy fatally shot by police Sunday. That's a group called Solidarity Coalition, St. Louis Metro East. They protested outside of the Shell gas station on North Florissant where officers shot and killed Darrell Ross. Police say Ross was with a group of people who were all armed when officers arrived at the gas station. They say Ross walked away from the parking lot into an alley. Police chased him until the teen tripped over a curb and dropped his gun. That's according to police. Officers fired when they say he reached for that gun. Ross died at the hospital. Friday, St. Louis police allowed reporters to watch surveillance video of that shooting, but they did not allow the media to record the video so that we could share it with you. Police say this remains an active investigation. New tonight, a St. Louis program paving the way for future pilots. The Red Tail Cadet program is a 6-week training program to set teenagers on a path toward a career in aviation. 5 on your side's Elise Shonek with this report.
Now it seems like I can't do a job without incorporating aviation somehow.
Growing up, Grace Ford's family always told her, sky's the limit.
We have about 16 on this side.
Until she found an opportunity that set a limit even higher than the sky.
Now it's definitely became the career that I'm going to choose to do in the future.
The Red Tail Cadet program is an innovative, hands-on course teaching students like Ford from the Florissant-Ferguson School District to fly planes.
And I realized right then there's a narrative. We've got to change the story. We have to change the narrative.
Pastor and program spearhead Anthony Myers says this program lets these students remind themselves and the world they are the writers of their future.
Not only does this program teach kids to fly from the ground up, it's also combating a nationwide pilot shortage by teaching these kids how to do much more than just fly planes.
They're intelligent, they're well read, they're articulate. And so how do you put that in the workplace? Oh, and they fly.
This program is writing endless narratives of its own for pilots.
I want to be you because you're a pilot. You fly planes and you look and sound like me.
For St. Louis.
I also want to affect African-American children and girls, show them that there's representation that's being made.
And for Grace Ford's very own family. With little sisters who are already setting their limits past the sky, too. Reporting in St. Louis.
And we used to say the sky's the limit, but now
I'm Elise Schoenig.
the sky is not, so.
5 on your side.
And all of those students tell us they do plan to get their pilot's licenses. The Red Tail Cadet program is already seeking its next round of applicants. Find out how you can apply on our website, ksdk.com. Let's go ahead and take a live look over Busch Stadium tonight, where it was an exciting day at the ballpark. Just 30 minutes ago, the Cards sweeping the Reds in a doubleheader. Corey Miller will have a recap coming up soon in sports. Well, excitement for the Redbirds as Albert Pujols nears 700 career home runs. Then there's the postseason right around the corner. Playoff tickets are now on sale online. Prices vary depending on the game. We found the lowest price at just $20. Several people we spoke with today say they'll do whatever it takes to watch this historic moment at Busch.
It's what it is. You know, I remember going to the '85 World Series paying $65 for a standing room only ticket, so that was cheap. I thought that was expensive back then, but you know, a couple of $100 for a ticket, I think that's pretty good if you can get one, yeah.
Fans can buy postseason tickets in person at the ticket counter. That starts on Monday. If you're looking to buy tickets to the playoffs or you just want some info on the upcoming postseason games, text the word CARDS to 314-425-5355. We'll send you that information. Today, King Charles III and Prince William making a surprise visit to a long line of people awaiting to see Queen Elizabeth's coffin. Both the King and new Prince of Wales greeted the string of mourners today. Supporters of the royal family expressing their gratitude for this surprise interaction.
It was exciting, and yeah, it was very exciting.
I was speechless when I did it. I never thought I'd handshake the King.
We offered to the new king our sincere condolences, and we wish him good luck with his new tasks, and we are convinced that he will do it very well.
Queen Elizabeth's coffin will continue to lie in state until her funeral Monday morning. Tonight, President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are in London to pay their respects. The president is expected to sign the official condolence book and attend a reception tomorrow at Buckingham Palace. The Bidens will then attend the Queen's funeral at Westminster Abbey on Monday. You can watch the Queen's funeral right here on 5 on Your Side. Coverage begins at 4:30 Monday morning. Clarifying misinformation over a new Illinois law ending cash bail. The truth behind the SAFE-T Act. Granting wishes, how one St. Louis community is helping children battling serious illnesses.
Stay hydrated, near record heat on the way. Also, I'll let you know who has the best chance to see thunderstorms.
The city of Bridgeton is helping grant wishes for St. Louis kids who are battling critical illnesses. Today, the city partnered with Make-A-Wish for their inaugural Wish Walk. This benefits local Wish kids. The family-friendly festival had inflatables, a petting zoo, and even Blues mascot Louie making an appearance. The event organized by the Bridgeton Police Department.
We have some people that are here today that were recipients of the Make-A-Wish, and if you hear those stories, they're touching, you know, and they touch the hearts of our officers, and it was one of the things that they felt was very important to try to give back to.
Make-A-Wish of Missouri and Kansas hoping to raise enough money to grant 340 local wishes this year. Today, Pedal the Cause kicked off with a kids challenge at Chesterfield Mall. Hundreds of kids coming out to ride a half mile, all to support children who are suffering from pediatric cancer. They raised about $30,000 today for cancer research. Next week, Pedal the Cause will have another bike ride, this one for adults.
And coming up in weather, look at this. Severe weather just to the west of us, from Iowa to west of Kansas City. Some warnings and watches. Is any of that headed our way? The forecast coming up.
A first-of-its-kind criminal justice law is about to go into effect in Illinois. Some prosecutors and police are now sounding the alarm about the end of cash bail, and that's leading to some strong claims online. Casey Decker from our Verify team answers your questions.
Last year, the governor of Illinois signed a law called the SAFE-T Act that aimed to reform the state's criminal justice system. Some of its key provisions take effect at the start of 2023, and in just the past week or so, we've gotten a ton of questions from Verify viewers about the impending changes. Katerina asked us via text, did Illinois really pass a law that will eliminate bail? So let's verify. Our sources are the full text of the SAFE-T Act, the governor's office, and the Illinois State Bar Association. One of the key clauses of this law reads, quote, on and after January 1st, 2023, the requirement of posting monetary bail is abolished in Illinois. So what does that mean? Well, first off, this doesn't affect convicted criminals at all. Bail isn't a punishment for committing a crime. It's designed as an incentive for people charged with a crime to show up to their court dates. But criminal justice reform advocates have long argued it's an unfair system because whether you wait for trial in a jail cell or at home is decided by how much money you have, meaning poor people who don't pose much of a threat could stay locked up while more dangerous rich people are let free. Eliminating bail only affects that pre-trial process. That brings us to the second important point. The law also doesn't mean people charged with crimes will automatically be released. Defendants can still be held in jail. There just won't be any dollar figures attached to that detention. Instead, judges will only consider the severity of the charges, the flight risk, and the danger the defendant could pose to specific people or the community if they aren't held. A lawyer with the Illinois State Bar Association's Committee on Racial Inequity told us, quote, judges retain discretion to deny pretrial release to people when necessary to protect someone else's safety. So we can verify, yes, Illinois is eliminating cash bail starting next year, but that doesn't mean it's releasing all detained people from jail or any convicted people from prison. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
There has to be something you'd like us to verify. Email us at verify@ksdk.com. Well, it may feel like summer these days, but people are out enjoying the fall activities. Here's video from Wentzville, where the annual Fall Festival happened yesterday and today. It features live music, local food, and craft vendors. That festival is wrapping up in just a few minutes. Tonight, hot air balloons filling the skies above St. Louis. Here's video of the Great Forest Park Balloon Race. Now, this is taken from our 100 Above the Park camera. The balloons took off from the Emerson Central Fields. The balloon race celebrating 50 years this weekend. If you're looking for more fun fall things to do around St. Louis, we've made it easy for you. Text the word fall to 314-425-5355. You can also check out a full list in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Let's go ahead and get a closer look at your weather forecast. For that, Jim Castile standing by with what he's working on. Hey there, Jim.
Yeah, hi, Brent. So let's check out that time lapse earlier because, you know, the balloon race was actually delayed because of the wind when it's over 15 miles an hour. So some of the balloons took off, but look right there, not all of them did because of the wind that was up and over about 20 miles an hour. So there was an issue with that, and the wind is still up a little bit in some cases, and we'll check that out in just a second. But it's getting hotter, 89 degrees, very hot to end our summer here in just a few days, 71 for that overnight low. Very warm again tonight, 81 and 60 for the averages, which we're nowhere near, and we won't be for a while. 78 degrees for that temperature, and humidity 54%, south-southeast wind at 10 but we did have some gusts over 20 miles an hour earlier. So not much is going on here. You get up to southern Iowa, some showers and storms there. Then you have severe thunderstorm watches and warnings from just northwest of Kansas City and all the way into Iowa. So we'll watch those clusters, but check out those storms right there in southern Iowa. Lots of lightning, and in some cases, some severe weather has been popping up there. I saw one tornado warning. You see this cluster of storms at about 1 o'clock in the morning. They start to die out. So it looks like we're just going to possibly get just nicked in our western counties by about 6 a.m. And then some clouds around, and then we'll watch for it later on tomorrow night, with showers and storms once again possible. Here they form. It looks like most will stay just east of the Mississippi River. So we'll watch these clusters. Some could be strong or severe, especially on the Illinois side, with some strong gusty wind and some lightning. This front won't really go through here until Thursday, so we're hot and steamy and getting a little bit more humid. That chance of severe weather as we head into tomorrow night is in our Illinois counties, so we'll watch that. The heat is also the big story. 93 for Monday, 97 Tuesday, which will tie the record, and about 90 on Wednesday. The 10-day forecast is showing temperatures. Look at this. We dropped down to about 90 on Wednesday. Looks like that front's coming in a little bit earlier. Otherwise, it was mid-90s. And then about 77 for Thursday as fall officially arrives. Friday, 75. Saturday back up to 81. And then some 70s after that. So kind of hot. If you like that, enjoy it for the next couple of days.
Yeah, we just got to get through the heat, and then it'll cool down.
Yes.
All right, Jim. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Corey's here now. Corey, how about those Cards?
It took extra innings tonight to determine if the Cardinals were going to sweep the Reds of their doubleheader, and let me just tell you, we saw one of the weirdest endings we've seen in a while. We'll take a closer look coming up next.
Chasing 700 is sponsored by CarShield.
The nearly 100,000 fans who came through the turnstiles at Busch Stadium for today's doubleheader against the Reds may have come hoping to see an Albert Pujols home run. They didn't, but they did see two of the best starts of the season, courtesy of these two guys. Game 1 had Dakota Hudson on the hill, back from his stint in Memphis, and he looked great. This guy has looked great since the calendar turned to September. Yadier Molina, 2-run shot, that made it 5-0. But it was Dakota's day in Game 1. 8 innings, no earned runs. Cards take Game 1 by the score of 5-1. Game 2 time, Jose Quintana on the hill, and he followed Hudson's lead. The only problem was Hunter Green was just as good for the Reds. 6 innings, no runs, and 11 strikeouts in just 6 innings for the flamethrower Green. Quintana, he went 8 innings, allowed just 2 hits, and also didn't allow a run. So we found ourselves in the 11th. Goldie at the plate, smokes it to third, and the ball smokes Andrew Kisner coming home. He's safe. Cardinals walk it off 1-0, and the Reds are upset, saying Kisner was out of the baseline coming home. So what did he have to say?
It just happened to be that was the play that I decided, you know, this is my chance to win, help the team win, and it ended up working out. But yeah, it was a good base running play. We work on it, so I'm glad to see it actually come to fruition and work out in an actual game.
It's a big deal whenever you get to witness a first ever, and that's exactly what we got to see tonight out in St. Charles. Lindenwood football played their first ever home game as a Division I program, and it was one to remember. Everybody was fired up in St. Charles tonight. Players, students, they love the camera, and the stands were absolutely packed as the Lions faced Kaiser University, and it was a fun one. Cade Brister to Peyton Rose right there. That's good for the first score of the game and a Lions lead. Then the big one. Brister found Kobe Smith for a 78-yard touchdown. He's able to walk it in. He's coming right at our photographer Bob Hain on the nice shot. And Lindenwood wins their first home game as a D1 program, big time, 37-3 over Kaiser. Few hours west to Columbia, where it was also a good day for Mizzou against Abilene Christian. It was a 30-4-17 win for the Tigers, thanks in part to a pair of East St. Louis receivers. Luther Burden III did his thing with an electrifying punt return TD, and Dominic Lovett had 2 touchdowns and 132 yards receiving. And Coach Drink knew Lovett had this kind of day in him.
I mean, we knew he was an electric player. We've known that since we've been recruiting him. And I think the consistency that he's approached every day with, and I think the consistency, the young man is a competitor. And there's another guy out there that he's competing. You know, he'll always compete with himself, but he wants to let everybody know he's from East St. Louis too.
All right, how about some love for SIU Carbondale football today? The Salukis went all the way up to Chicago to take on Northwestern and came away with one of the biggest wins in school history. SIU beats Northwestern 31-24, their first win over a Big Ten team since 2006. Congrats to the Salukis. Albert Pujols update, no homers tonight, still at 698. Only one more game against the Reds tomorrow until they go on a West Coast road trip. So I don't want to spoil anybody, but it might be an away game where he gets 700. He's still going to get there, but it might be on the road.
All right. Well, all eyes will be watching.
We'll see.
Thank you, Court.
Maybe 2 tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. I like that. Let's just do that, get it over with. You're positive.
What you got, man?
Well, weather tomorrow, it is hot, 91. So headed into the game, just be aware of that. You know, the storm chances are either in the morning north and west of the metro or late tomorrow night into early Monday. Otherwise, it's partly to mostly sunny both days. 93 on Monday, 97 on Tuesday, which should be a record. We're expecting that record high of 97. And then Wednesday 90, then we're cooling down by fall, which is Thursday, and 77.
The countdown to fall beginning.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for the company. That's it for 5 on your side at 10. Saturday Night Live is next. We hope you have a great evening.